Okay, so filling and wrapping, we are working on 2.1, finding surface area of a prism, page 45, March 8th. Make sure you have your titles and dates there. When I do your notebook check quizzes, I could give you page numbers, dates, so something random. So make sure you have all three there. Okay. Surface area and volume of a prism, again, page 45, March 8th. Focus question is, for a prism with a fixed height and a fixed lateral area, how do the volume and surface area of the prism change as the number of sides increase? Let's change this. We're only going to do surface area today. We'll do volume in the next video. Okay. So a couple things we got to get out of the way. We got to figure out what a prism is. Okay. Before we start answering these questions. So let's talk about prisms. Okay. A prism is a shape, a three-dimensional shape, so a 3D shape with a base that is repeated over and over again. I think this is in your other set of notes. Okay, now let me give you an example of a prism. Okay, so we've been dealing with these kind of items, these prisms. This is a square base, so I have a square base, and that square is repeated over and over and over and over and over and over again all the way through. So I stack up a whole bunch of squares together. If I stack a whole bunch of squares together, it'll make a square prism. Okay, this is a triangular prism. The base shape is a rectangle that's repeated over and over and over and over and over and over again. Okay, if I stack a whole bunch of triangles together, I get a triangular prism. A pentagonal prism, again, a base of a pentagon that's repeated over and over again. If I have a whole bunch of pentagons, I start stacking them on top of each other, it'll make a 3D shape. If it was a single sheet of pentagon paper, then it'd be really, really flat. It would have very, very little to no volume. Whereas if I stack a whole bunch of them on top of each other, I start to have a prism. So a prism is a 3D shape with a base. This is my base, what I have in blue, that's repeated over and over and over again. Okay, and now we're going to figure out how to find the surface area of these items. Okay, so when I see these shapes, okay, what we're going to do is you're going to copy down this table. There is no lab sheet for this one, so I had to make this, so you're going to have to copy this into your notebook. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of slice open these shapes. Okay, so you can see what they look like. If we split it up and open it all up, you'd see what the prisms look like. So I'm going to scoot these over. I'm going to start off with the most common one, which is our rectangular prism. Okay, so let me pause the video. I'll cut this open. I'll show you what it looks like unfold. Okay, so this is my my prism, and if I cut it open and laid it out flat, this is what it would look like. They call this a net. Okay, so a net is what wraps around a prism. Okay, now this is the base. So this is my base. Okay, and I should have a base there, and I have a base on this side also. Okay, so these are my two bases. Okay, and this space right here, this whole space, let's highlight it so you can see what I'm talking about. This whole space right here, this is what we call our lateral surface area. Okay, so that is our lateral surface area. I'll label that for you guys. This is our lateral surface area. Okay, so this part here is our lateral surface area. It's the part that goes across the middle. Okay, so if you think about it, that here in this shape is this white part that goes all the way around. It wraps around the base. Okay, now this lateral surface area is based on two things. Okay, it's based on two things. Okay, if it's standing up like this, okay, this value that's right here, from here to here, this is our height. Okay, our height that goes from left to right because I laid it out flat. Okay, so there's our height from here to there. Okay, and then this part here all the way across, okay, this from here to here, that is our perimeter of the base. Okay, perimeter of the base. Okay, what that means is going around this blue space, if I went all the way around, it would match to this length here. Okay, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, if this side matched up with this side, okay, this top side would match up with this side over here, and this left side would match up with this one, okay? And this last part here on the base and on the lateral surface area, the same spot. So green, green, blue, blue, pink, pink, yellow, yellow, okay? So if I add them all up, add up all around this square, it should be the length of this side, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the equation for the lateral surface area, okay? The equation for the lateral surface area, so lateral surface area is equal to the height times the perimeter of the base, okay? The base area, the area of the base, is equal to length times width, okay? And our length and width is length and width here, and this is our height, okay? So let's label those items too so we can see where they are. Length, oops, length here, length and width. There we go, length and width. Okay. These are the side lengths of this square. Okay, let me make this a little bit smaller. Okay, length and width from here to here. Okay, this is the area of the base. Okay, the base is the whole square. On the bottom, the base is the whole thing here. This length is a single value. Okay, surface area is height times length, length plus length, width plus width. Okay, so here, perimeter of the base, let's extend that. Perimeter of the base, let me put this in blue so you can see what I'm talking about. Perimeter of the base can also be calculated as length plus length plus width plus width. Now that only works for rectangular bases, and I don't really, again, I always tell you this, I don't recommend that you memorize these formulas because they're not very helpful. If you know what perimeter is, you know that you have to go all the way around, okay? That only works with rectangular or square bases. When we unzip this one and we open it up, it's going to be a little bit different, okay? So when we unzip this one, it changes the value of the perimeter of the base, because the perimeter is going to be side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3, all things that are very, very different than length, width, length, okay? So lateral surface area, height times perimeter, the base is length times width, okay? Now the area of the base, again, changes from shape to shape. When I find the area of a base of a triangle, that changes as well. So I'm only concerned with these two shapes mostly because we actually don't learn how to find the area of a pentagon. So you do learn how to find the surface area of a pentagonal base, but we give you the area of the bases in the beginning. Okay, so I'm going to unzip this one. We're going to see what this looks like, and we'll come up with our equations for this one as well. Okay, so we're going to pause the video. Okay, so yes, draw these out. Okay, if I cut this open again, it'll look like this. If I filleted this, I sliced it down the center, I open it up. These white edges here are these white rectangles with the red outline. Okay, there's my bases over there. Again, your lateral surface area will be the same thing. Okay, it's going to be the height times the perimeter of the base. So this red space here, this red rectangular space, is the height of the prism. So this is how tall it is. This is my height. So if I were to duplicate this, this would show up in this part of the shape. It would be like this. That's my height. Okay, that's my height. And the perimeter of the base is this value here, and that's how long it is around this triangle. How long this is plus this one times the height of it. Okay, and that's this red section, my lateral surface area. Okay, so since I put this in blue, I'll do this in blue also. Okay, My area of the base, that's just the area of the triangle. So how do you find the area of the triangle? And you should have base times height divided by 2. And that's, again, a refresher from 6th grade. Okay, so for a triangle, area of the base is length times width. Okay, length times width, or base times height. They're the same thing, but I like using length and width or length and height because it gets confusing with the base. Okay, then this whole thing divided by 2. Okay, the whole thing cut in half. Okay, so this is the equation for a triangle. So I can find the area of the triangle, and then this section here. Good. Now we're going to do an activity in class with paper to fill out this chart. So have this chart ready to go. We'll do a pentagonal, a triangular, and a rectangular. They actually have us doing a few more, but I think this is enough. Okay, and then we're going to add up the area of the sides, or the lateral surface area. So this is the same as lateral surface area. You might want to write that down, area of sides, lateral surface area. We'll add these two together and we'll get our total surface area. Okay, so for when you come back to class, this should be at the end of your notes. So you have all your notes written out. Yes, draw this to the best of your ability. Yes, draw this to the best of your ability. Label all the parts, please. With these equations here, draw and label to the best of your ability. Okay, and then on the next page, if you ran out of space, what you can do is you're going to write a summary. Okay, your summary is basically, you can answer these questions, and if you're not sure what to write. Okay, so your first question would be, what is this investigation about? Okay, 2, how can you find how can you find surface area of a prism? Okay, if you don't know what a prism is, maybe you can describe what a prism is. So let's put this down here. So maybe before 2, okay, you need to describe what a prism is. Maybe provide some examples. That you might see in real life, okay, of prisms. And then 3, what is lateral surface area? And what is a net? Okay, I talked about it. So if you're just watching this and you're not listening to it, you're going to be a little bit confused. Okay, so describe what a net is. Okay, we drew a net. This is a net of this 3D shape. This is a net of this 3D shape. Okay, so you can write in general in a paragraph form a summary. The summary should answer these generalized questions. Okay, after your summary, okay, you're going to do you're going to write questions. Okay, now some of you guys keep telling me I don't have any questions. So questions. So the things for questions are what do you not understand? So in the question section, you are writing questions for clarification. Okay, what do you not know? What do you not know that you want me to explain better? Now, if you're the type of person that says, I don't have any questions, okay? This is if you don't have any questions, you are going to write questions about. So write questions that you think others will have. Okay. Your homework will also be posted. We can do this in class, so don't worry about doing this tonight. I'll print this out and have this ready for you. So this is your homework: surface area of a prism, 2 pages, this one and this one. It'll be posted online as well. So be ready with your notes completed. Again, we're gonna do this stuff in class so we can work on it together. The most important thing: watch the video, summary, and question. WQS. Watch, summarize, question. WSQ. This needs to be at the end of your notes, please.